V létě roku 1831 překročil hranici Čech dánský spisovatel a básník Hans Christian Andersen. Dojmy z cesty zaznamenal a vydal tiskem pod názvem Stínové obrazy z cesty do Harcu a Saského Švýcarska.
Vysoko nahoře, kde mrchy plují, kde černé smrky stojí, kde prameny tryskají z kamenů skal, tam byl jsem jednou sám.
Počátek tajemství leží hluboko v minulosti. Po poněkud únavném putování se smrky rozestoupily. Stáli jsme mezi nádhernými zelenými buky. Kolem dokola vystřikovaly pramenky vody. Byli jsme 1780 pařížských kroků nad hladinou moře. Nejkrásnější výhled byl do Čech. Ani ve snu jsem si neuměl představit takový temně modrý nádech hor.
This map shows the location of the Bohemian Switzerland National Park, which is actually divided in half by the German and Czech border. Hrenkso is the last Czech settlement on the right bank of the Elbe River and the last Czech settlement before the border. It developed out of a storage facility and former trading point, and today is still very important just for a different trade, namely that of tourism. Now that the introductory video already has given all the viewers an idea of how beautiful Bohemian Switzerland is, and I've situated Hrenkso as the last settlement on the right bank of the Elbe River, I would like to talk about some of the different groups that make use of this town. Of course, there are residents living year-round in the town, but the town only has about 320 inhabitants, and due to the recent flooding in 2010, a lot of houses have been boarded up or permanently abandoned, as can be seen on the left of this picture. And the railing that keeps tourists' children as well as residents' children safe from the river running through all of the town has not even been restored yet. This is mainly due to the heavy tourist use of the area, which caused all the hotels to have priority in restoration after the flooding in 2010. And since these hotels have been restored, there has been a shortage of funding to complete even the railing to keep these tourists now safe from the river, especially children. Even just spending half an hour in Hrenkso, you will see a lot of tour buses driving through. I saw at least 4 or 5 when we were having lunch with my family in the town. The last group that uses Hrenkso are the Asian street vendors that are very common all throughout the Czech Republic, but especially in this area you will most certainly be approached by at least 2 or 3 street vendors as soon as you set foot into the town, because they know that not only the Czech population but also the German population comes to this town to visit, and of course they need to make a living somehow as well. The street vendors are only part of the town during the tourist season. Most of the shops are then either completely taken down or boarded up and abandoned until the next summer. Hrenkso is a very special town to me because not only have 4 generations of my family visited it, but I got to visit it last year with my grandmother and my aunt and uncle for her birthday. This is one of the pictures taken of us during our hike up to the boat rides in Edmund's Gorge. I'm on the left, my grandma's in the middle, and my Aunt Magda is on the right. This was one of the last times that I will probably be able to say that I got to go on a hike with my grandmother, where she still remembered me, because she's currently going through some medical problems that have affected her memory. So Hrenkso is one of the last places where I will have been with my grandmother, and we both had a very good time there, so it holds a special place in my heart simply for that reason. And it is also really interesting to think that not only me and my mother and my aunt have visited it, but my grandma and her parents, as well as my younger cousins, have also visited this place, either through school excursions or just like this trip that we took for my grandma's birthday so she could get out into nature. Just to give a little background on the area, Edmundova Sotěžka, which is Edmunds and Kamenice Gorge combined, are just one of the many areas in the national park that are beautiful and that you can hike through. It was severely damaged in 2010 and 2011 due to flooding, and as you can see in these images, there's a lot of cleanup that was still left to do when I visited in 2011. The tour guides that can be seen in the picture on the left have very long poles. They're kind of hard to see, but they're used to navigate through the gorge, which has a lot of different water levels and can at times be pretty dangerous. So not only were the tour guides keeping us safe and making sure we wouldn't capsize, but they were also telling us all kinds of entertaining little stories while we were being taken through the gorge. They were also pointing out rock formations. There was one in particular that looked like a dragon that somebody had actually put a chain on, and that the tour guides now used for scaring the little children and telling them that if they weren't good, the dragon would come and eat them. On the right, you can see some of the images that my uncle and I took in the rock pass-throughs that we encountered on the hike up to the boat departure point. There were many little pass-throughs and rock formations, in some cases even a path cut straight through a tree that was too big to move and that nobody wanted to get rid of. It was amazing to see how the planners had just come up with ways through or around nature to get us to our departure points, and it was a very enjoyable hike, although it was 8 kilometers all uphill, and I was unfortunately even sick that day. But it is still one of the best days that I can remember from any vacation I've taken, simply because it was spent with family in the place that all of us have visited at some point or another,